From the beginning, I would like to say that when I started off, I had no intentions of ever making music. I started off trying to be my brother's manager. I thought my brother was dope. I tried to get involved that way as a manager. I knew nothing about music. I knew nothing about anything at all. I just knew I had to drive. If I had to learn something, I learned. We got into it. We started doing it. You know, for some, and I don't blame most people. It's a hard thing to get into. It could be discouraging right away, and you know, for many other reasons. And that's what happened with my brother at first. It got discouraging, and he kind of took his foot off the pedal. I was bar hopping that summer, and I noticed that I was in a bad place in my life where I was just working, making money, bar hopping, and meeting up with random girls. It wasn't like I didn't feel productive or nothing. Like I never felt like that. I played college basketball, you know, for 4 years. I was kicked out of my school, and that's how I came home. I started working in group homes, and that's when I was just bar hopping. I felt like a loser, low key, between me, you know. But from there, that's when I got the idea. Well, I went to a bar one night, and somebody thought I was Tyga. Kid came to me and said, "Hey, Tyga, can I get your picture with you?" And I said, and I thought he was just joking. Like I thought it was a joke. Like, okay, I'm light skinned, I got a lot of tattoos, I had short hair at the time. I get the Tyga reference, so I'm thinking it's a joke. So I told him, he came to me with camera for real. I was like, "Hey, can we get the picture?" I said, "Yo, I'm not Tyga." And he got mad with me and walked off. And I was like, "What the?" So I told my boy, I was with my boy, and I said, "Yo, this kid thinks I'm Tyga." So we laughed about it, and I said, "I'm gonna go home and write a song." So I go home at night, try to attempt to write a song. Garbage. Quit about 15 minutes into writing. I'm like, I'm not gonna rap. I'm quitting. And so I go to Canada a week later. I go to the Grand Prix. It's a big race up there. A lot of Italians go. I was with my Italian boys, my homeboys at the time, and they dragged me out there. We leave a club. Virgil had a party that night. I went to the Virgil party that night. I leave the club, and there's a McDonald's or whatever they call it out there across the street, some weird burger spot. And 3 girls say, "Hey, can we get your picture?" So I said, "All right." So I get in there, I take the picture with them. And then so when I'm taking the picture, I said, "Why do you guys want my picture?" They said, "You're not Tyga? You're not Tyga?" And I said, "What?" So I'm like, this is 2 times in a week I heard a Tyga reference. So I told my boy, I gotta go home and write a song. I go home, I call a kid that I know that makes beats. His name's G-Eazy. I said, "Yo, bro, I need a beat. People think I'm a rapper. I gotta try to make a song." And that's how it started. I made the song. 2 days after he gave me the beat, 2 weeks later, I did a music video. 4 weeks later, the music video came out. 4 weeks later, Stephen Victor from Universal under Republic Records called me. And that's how fast it happened. And from that's when I took it a lot more serious after that phone call. Because when I did it, I was doing it to try to motivate my brother too. I wasn't really trying to fully get into it. But after the phone call, after actually being in New York and seeing the building and the surrealness of it, I was like, maybe I should take it a little more serious. You know, I think some of the early lessons that stood out for me was, I guess, I'm gonna say it from a present standpoint and then a past. Some of the lessons that stood out presently to me back then was the no pressure of making a record, no standard of making a record. It was kind of fun to just go create and have no standard and have no pressure and not to do this kind of song. And I actually listened to some of the records and I'm like, I wish sometimes I could get that swag back where it's like, you don't care. I was freestyling. I was making things up. And I know some of them aren't the best songs, you know, up to date. You know, I got better with music as time went on. But the idea of the moment of being fun and just enjoying recording just because it was fun, that's something you can't get back. You have to recreate those moments. And the only way you can recreate those moments is by living life. So when I take a trip to Puerto Rico now, that's motivation for me. You know, when I go to Miami and go party and whatever happens out there, that's motivation for me now. But back then, it was just, the motivation was just, there was none. It was just fun. So, you know, presently, you got to recreate the fun and recreate the moments to talk about. because I feel like I'm a lifestyle rapper. I rap about what happened yesterday or last week, you know. So that's the box I try to live in. But back then, I didn't look at it like that. Back then, I thought it was hard. I thought these records was wavy. I didn't know nothing about mixing and mastering back then. So there were, you know, I didn't have much to think about back then. I just thought it was dope, put it out. But, you know, looking back now, I'm like, oh, this mix sucks. Oh, this, you know, but, you know, it's learning. It's a part of the learning curve. And the good part is people got to grow with you. Whoever was around from Young Sat at Homie that maybe would have made it to 2021 with me, they're like, man, we've seen Don Zio P grow from what that was 4 years ago or 3 years ago to what it is now.